Well, good morning, everyone. It's Laura, and it's Friday morning, June 6th, and we have episode 9 for you, and it's a Lulu. I've had a lot on my mind this week, and if I have a lot on my mind, then it takes more to take me out of my mind, if you know what I mean. I hope you enjoy this. By the way, this is the class of 74. Just a reminder, you can always rate the show because that helps people find it, right? All right, let's go see the class of 74 at Brighton High. Episode 9, The Keeper of Secrets. Wow, Cynthia said quietly. Dr. Whitaker was still married to the mother of Evan's half-brothers? His mother and father weren't married? What? How could this be? Cynthia, are you still there? Yeah, I'm here. And all this coming out next week. What do you mean, come out? How? In the Chicago gossip column. My dad's wife is gunning for him, or gunning for me. One of the three stooges who's all screwed up on drugs and stuff, Brock, I've told you about him, the one who's still living at home. Yeah. Well, supposedly he tried to kill himself. I don't believe it. Anyway, the story is he tried to kill himself and he blames everything on Dad. And since the alimony payments to his mother are about to end, she has nothing to lose, so she wants to inflict a little pain on me, too. The kids in line were now pleading with Cynthia to get off the phone. What is all that noise? Evan, I'm sorry, but I have to find another phone. A bunch of kids are waiting to use this one, and they're starting to get mad. Their phone's in the lobby of the gym. Right, she said. Okay, I'm on my way. I'll call you right back. She hung up. Sorry, she said to the line of kids, but it was really important. She went down the short flight of stairs and out the door to the smoking area. Her mind was reeling. She wasn't paying attention and found herself walking straight into somebody. Hey, why so serious? Phil O'Brien asked. Look up once in a while. You didn't even see me. Oh, Phil, hi, I'm sorry. I'm a little all over the place. I just heard some news that I'm having a hard time. She rubbed her forehead. Dealing with? He finished for her. It's some very hard news a close friend just received. And I had to get off the phone in there with him because all these kids needed to use it, and I got to call him back. I was going to go see if there's a phone in the gym that's free. I'll walk you there, he said, stepping aside and gesturing for her to walk ahead of him on the asphalt path. Illness, death, or divorce? Excuse me? Was the news illness, death, or divorce? She shrugged. Well, I guess divorce, sort of. Or a lack of, with a smattering of religion. Religion, he said, incredulous. I haven't heard that one before. The way he said it made her laugh. Oh, good, you smiled, he said. There's hope. Well, my mom says there's always hope. Ah, your mother. I hope you've stolen some more cigarettes from her. No, I haven't. I can't. I have to buy some. She's down to a couple of packs, and I can only do it if she has 7 or 8 packs in the carton. And then I can't look at her when I hear her say, oh gosh, I'm smoking too much these days. That's the definition of affluence, Phil said, buying cigarettes by the carton. My mom always buys single packs and counts every cigarette. She smiled a little. Oh, his skin was terrible. Otherwise, he'd be a fairly nice-looking guy. That had to be hard, having that skin. And what was with the suede fringe jacket? He had to be stifling. Hey, Phil, did you ever live in New Canaan? Oh, way back. Before we moved to France. Why? They were approaching the entrance to the gym. I think our mothers might know each other. He stopped walking. No way. Was your mother ever in junior league? Is her name Anna or Annalise or Alice? He said. Alice, that's it, she confirmed. Oh my God. He was in a state of shock. My mom knows her. Cynthia, no, he said in a rush. My mother will die 1,000 deaths if anyone she knows sees how we're living. Don't worry, she said quickly. My mom's not wired like that, and we haven't decided yet whether we're going to tell them or not. You can't tell your mother. It will kill my mother. If you don't want me to, I won't say anything. I don't want you to, Cynthia. Please, don't. Okay. Swear? I swear. Look, I need to make this call. Yeah, he said quickly, moving toward the gym. There were 2 payphones in the lobby of the gym, one with a line of students waiting to use it, and the other with a sign that said it was out of order. Come on, Phil said, nudging her. I know where there's a phone you can use. In this school. Come on, follow me. We'll go in through the front. But that's the payphone I just came from. No, not the payphone. I've got another one. Come on. He led the way around the circular driveway. There's a phone in the office where I'm supposed to be doing my homework right now. He looked at his watch. The guidance counselors went to lunch and they won't be back before 1:30. It's a toll call, she said. Not a problem. Mrs. Grenville's been making long-distance calls to colleges all morning. I heard her. What if we get caught? We tell the truth, he said. Payphone's tied up and you had an emergency. I happened to run into you and knew that where there was a phone. Oh, he was good. Maybe better than she was. Why are you doing homework in a guidance counselor's office? Well, they say I am a classic failure to adjust to a new environment. That sounds bad. What did you do? It's what I didn't do. I haven't gone to any classes yet. Well, it's just the 3rd day, she said, being hopeful on his behalf. Yeah, but they can't figure out what classes I should be in either. So Mrs. Grenville's been giving me these tests. But forget about that. Let's get you to the phone. At the front door of the school, he paused to say, follow me. Don't speak to anyone. Don't look around. Stay on my heels until we're in, okay? She took a deep breath and they went inside. She followed the fringed jacket to the right, opposite the front office reception area. She didn't look, but she did glance at the payphone area ahead where a lot of students were still in line. Phil opened an office door and went inside. She followed. He closed the door behind her, held out his hand and said, voila. There was a black telephone on the desk. The office was very small and didn't even have a window. There was an office chair behind a plain-looking desk that had papers piled high all over it, and 2 chairs were in front of it. There were 2 bookcases stuffed with all kinds of stuff, and 2 3-drawer filing cabinets. Cynthia got the number out of her purse, went around the desk, brought the phone closer, and sat down. I really appreciate this, Phil, she said, picking up the phone. I think I should stay just in case. Okay. She dialed 1, Connecticut's area code 203, and the number. Evan picked up immediately. Sorry that it took so long. The payphones are tied up, so a friend snuck me into an office to use the phone. Who? Oh, you don't know him. Phil O'Brien. He just moved back from France. France? Ask him if he plays soccer. Cynthia looked at Phil, who had sat down and opened a textbook. My friend wants to know if you played soccer in France. It's called football over there, he said. Did he play? Evan asked. Did you play? Cynthia asked. You have to. It's the national sport. Ask him if he's any good, Evan said. Well, I can't. Look, you ask him. Cynthia stood up and held out the phone. My friend Evan wants to speak to you. Phil kept his eye on Cynthia as he took the phone from her. Hello? He listened. Yeah, we had to play. He laughed a little. Sorry. No, not a star. Not at all. I mean, I was okay. Defensive midfielder. He listened. To be honest, it never crossed my mind to. I turned 16 in December and I need to get a job. He listened. His expression was intent. You'd do that? I mean, that would be great, but wonder if I stink so bad they don't want me. Okay. JV, I get it. He laughed. Oh, that's so sad. You don't. So what do these guys play besides American football? Cross country, right. Then he shrugged. Yeah, lacrosse is okay. He laughed. No, I swear I won't. If I play anything, it'll be soccer. He looked at Cynthia. You know Coach Griffin? You know who he is? Yes, I have him for geometry. Nice guy. Except he'll snatch whatever notes he sees being passed in class, she thought. Phil was listening to Evan, his eyes dropping to the desk. No, I don't have anything. 10. All right, I'll mention it to him if I see him. He smiled. Okay. When I see him, I'll tell him. What's your name, anyway? He reached for a pen and a pad and started scribbling. You're where? Why? When will you be back? His eyes went to Cynthia, and he put the pen down on the pad and pushed it toward her. Can you write down your number? I don't know where ours is. I don't know what it is. Evan says I can call you to find out when he's back. Sure, she said. With that jacket on, it was hard to see if Phil looked athletic at all. But though they were distressingly dirty, he was wearing high-top sneakers, which usually meant a boy did some running around. Phil held the phone under his chin and took off his jacket. Finally. He was wearing a short-sleeved cotton shirt, white with tiny gray stripes. He was like clay, no polyester for him, just a normal cotton shirt. Huh. Evan, Phil said into the phone, thanks, man. Whatever happens, it's nice to be asked. And I would like to caddy, so I appreciate the intro. He looked at Cynthia and smiled. In the smoking area, where else? I bummed a cigarette off her. He laughed. You do too? Yeah, well, I guess that's both of us that are going to have to look out for the coach. Yeah, okay. Thanks again, Evan. Here's Cynthia. He handed her the phone. I'm going outside to have a cigarette before I can't. Okay, see you later, she said as he went out. So now you're recruiting? She asked Evan. The door opened again and Phil came back in to get his jacket. With me out, Evan said, JV doesn't even have enough players to have a scrimmage. I talked to Coach Griffin this morning and we're desperate. When Phil reached over to pick up the jacket, Cynthia saw there was a huge hole in the back of his shirt. Huge. He saw that she saw, and while he slipped his jacket on, he leaned over and whispered, my mom left the iron on and burned through all my shirts. Is he as tall as me? Evan was asking. Not quite. 9, maybe 10, Cynthia said. 5, 9.5, Phil said, opening the door. 160 pounds, and I do need cleats. He closed the door behind him. We'll find him some, Evan said. He sounds like a nice enough guy. He is, but he's also a little, well, different. Maybe because of living in France. He has very bad acne. Who cares? Working out with the team will help with that anyway. I never really looked at him as an athlete, Cynthia said. I pegged him more as a sophisticated juvenile delinquent like myself. Evan laughed, which was good to hear, sounding like himself. As long as he passes his classes, no one will care. Get the feeling he's very smart, but he's got a big chip on his shoulder about his father, who, I gather, ditched his mother. They're living in an apartment over the Wang's laundry. What? They live over the Chinese Laundry? Yeah, he lives there with his mom. Oh, maybe his mother's married to my father, too. Oh, crap, Cynthia. Forget I said that, please. It's forgotten. He sighed heavily. Oh, Cynthia, what am I going to do? She knew if he was a girl, he'd be sobbing by now. Why are your parents telling you all this, Evan? What's this about a gossip column? There's this high muckety-muck paper in Chicago, a weekly for the Gold Coast, a Loop, Lincoln Park, the near North Side, all the rich people. And they have this big gossip columnist everybody reads. And the day before, this columnist ran a blind item. That's a story that doesn't have anyone's name in it. A friend of my mother in Chicago read it and knew right away who the blind story was about, and she called my mom. This gossip columnist publishes a blind story a week before she publishes the whole story with all the names and details, so people will buy the paper. He was quiet for a while. Don't push, she thought. She practically had to sit on her hands. She felt so anxious. She read the column to Mom. And then you know how crazy Wednesday was. She got that call from the school. Yeah, it was crazy, all right. Anyway, Thursday morning, my mom started telling me about it. She said she had to tell me before I heard anything from anyone else. And then a few minutes later, I blacked out and I had a, seizure, Cynthia said. Yeah. So Mom's not feeling so great about any of this right now. But she didn't cause it, Cynthia said. Ronsky smashing your head into a locker caused it. They don't know. I mean, everybody knows what Ronsky did to me. But stress can do some weird stuff to people, they say. And what Mom was telling me was stressing me out, believe me. What did the column say? Hold on, I've got it right here. Cleared his throat. Many of my readers will remember the prominent Chicago surgeon who so famously abandoned his socialite wife and 3 children. It seems the not-so-good doctor has turned up in a notoriously anti-Semitic Connecticut town where he is raising his illegitimate son by his closeted Jewish girlfriend. It knocked the breath right out of Cynthia. Pretty vicious, huh? Evan said. Gosh, yeah. Why did your father marry such a horrible person? Oh, she was our age when Dad got her pregnant, 15. He was just 17. And they got married? Yeah. Her family was rich and Catholic like he was, and her father said a lot of things Dad wanted to hear because he was 17 and stupid. Is that even legal to get married at that age? Well, they did it. They got married, she had the baby, and they finished high school. Then the father-in-law paid Dad's tuition at University of Chicago. They had another baby. Father-in-law bought them a house. Then Dad got into medical school, and the father-in-law paid for that. And then there was another kid. And after Dad completed his residency, he started doing well as a surgeon. And then he fell in love with my mother. She got pregnant with me. Dad asked for a divorce, and all hell broke loose. The father-in-law had the cops arrest my father for fraud, and they threw him in jail. What? Fraud? Yeah. He was a lawyer for the mob or something, the father-in-law. Pressed charges against my father. He claimed my father pretended to be in love with his daughter for the sole purpose of stealing money from him. Added together, the house, college education, medical school, supporting him and the family, it all added up to a tremendous amount of money. But even after Dad signed legal agreements to pay every penny back so he could stay out of jail, the wife said she didn't care what he did, she'd never give him a divorce. I sort of don't blame her. Oh, great, Evan said. No, I don't mean I'm on her side, but with 3 kids, I can understand how upset she must have been. My father certainly doesn't come out a hero in this. She was about to ask him what teenagers did they know that would come out a hero after being teenagers. She thought about Teddy Hamilton, who until 3 days ago had been a hero of hers. So what did your parents do? The only thing they could do. Moved to the other side of Chicago and pretended they were married while Mom had me. Dad stayed involved with the Three Stooges, which I know for a fact because I saw them practically every weekend. They were really rich. I mean, they were spoiled rotten, those kids. And we were poor. I mean, really. Mom was working as a nurse, and her salary is what we lived on because every dime my father made either went to the wife and the Three Stooges or to the father-in-law. I can't imagine how hard that must have been. It's a miracle your parents are still together. It wasn't so bad after a while because in 6th grade, we moved into that big house on the lake. Evan would talk endlessly about that house on the lake, particularly after he'd had a few beers, because it was such a happy time. He would talk about all the trips and excursions they took as a family on the water. Where did the money come from for the house? That's the best part of the story. Remember I told you how my mother had an engineering degree, not just a nursing degree? Yeah, because she liked science or something. She was doing a fellowship with my father because she was doing research on artificial parts, for replacements and stuff. So my mom patented some metal and plastic part for knee replacement, and she sold it for a ton of money. We've been living on that money ever since. I think my father might have helped her at least a little. But isn't that cool? I mean, she really did do it. She invented something. You still can't keep any of the money your father makes? That's part of what's going on. The agreement's almost over, and my father would get to keep everything he makes. The lawyers say this whole thing is effort to soak my dad for more money. Isn't that called blackmail? Yeah. So how do they know your mother's Jewish? Oh, father-in-law went nuts when we moved into the big house and wanted to know where the money came from. And when he was combing assets linked to my father, he found out Mom's parents were Eastern European Jews that came here in the 30s. At the time, he used that information to accelerate my father's excommunication from the church, because what could be worse than a Catholic man abandoning his wife and 3 children, abandoning them to raise an illegitimate son by a Jewish mother? Your poor parents, your poor mother. I know, it's hard to watch. This is killing them. The office door swung open, and a lady stood frozen in the doorway, staring at Cynthia. The lady felt around for the glasses on her chest, which hung from a chain around her neck, and slipped them onto her nose. "You're in my chair," she observed. "Yes," Cynthia said, standing up. "Evan, I've got to hang up." "Cynthia, don't tell anybody, okay?" "I won't. Promise. And I'll call you tonight." She put the receiver down in the cradle. "I'm sorry. You must be very surprised to find me in here." She started to move around the desk. "I had an emergency, and all the payphones were tied up, and I had to make this call." She was nodding. "And I'm sure Philip invited you to use my phone." Cynthia grimaced a little, not wanting to tattle. "It's not his fault. It's mine. He was just trying to help me out because he knew I was desperate to call my friend back. My friend had received some very upsetting news." The guidance counselor sat down in the chair and put her purse away in a drawer. "News about?" "I'm not allowed to say. Not yet. I guess not until it appears in a newspaper." "Oh," she said, her penciled eyebrows rising in astonishment. "A newspaper? Wow." "It's awful," Cynthia said. "I can't even tell my mother." "Good for you to try and be a good friend, but please, next time, Miss Schuyler, Cynthia, next time, Miss Schuyler, please just come and ask me." Cynthia nodded. "I will. I promise." Are you assigned to me? Or simply a friend of Philip's? Although I must say I was led to believe Philip doesn't have any friends. Oh, he has one. She raised her hand. Actually, I think he might have two now. And he might try out for the soccer team, so he might make some friends there too. The guidance counselor tilted her head slightly, looking keenly interested in this. Philip? Huh. Where is Philip? Oh, he went to the bathroom, I think. And maybe to get something to drink. Okay, good, thank you. I need to get back to work. I'm Mrs. Grenville, by the way. Cynthia stuck out her hand. Mrs. Grenville first looked amused, but then weary as she forced herself up out of the chair to briefly shake Cynthia's hand. If I don't get these heels off, I'm going to scream, she said, sinking back into the chair. She opened another desk door and took out some flat shoes. There was a sharp knock on the door, and Dr. Eagleton stuck his head in and did a double take when he saw Cynthia. What are you doing in here? I was just leaving, Cynthia said. She turned. Thank you, Mrs. Grenville. You're welcome, Cynthia. Stop in again soon. I will. Bye, Dr. Eagleton. She's not even your student, the vice principal said to the guidance counselor. Cynth stopped to listen. She's trouble, Mrs. Grenville. Oh? Mrs. Grenville said, I found her rather engaging. Cynthia smiled. That's why she's trouble. Cynthia continued walking. Phil appeared at the top of the stairs. She waved at him, pointed to the office, and mouthed, She's back. He mouthed, Everything okay? She nodded. Thanks a million, she told him as they passed each other. He bowed. À votre service, mademoiselle. Cynthia had no idea what time it was or where she was supposed to be. Her mind was so mixed up. She didn't even know where she left her books. There was just too much going on. Oh, her books. There they were, on the floor underneath the payphone. She went over, excused herself to a kid, and picked them up. Does anyone know what time it is? She asked the line. Get a watch, a guy growled. Good advice, Cynthia said. Anyone else? 1:33, a girl volunteered. Great, thanks. Now what? She opened her notebook to look at her modular schedule. She was supposed to be in English, but she didn't have a pass, and she sure as heck wasn't going to ask Eagleton for one. Mrs. Grenville might write her one, though. Oh, leave her alone, she thought. This day was so hopelessly messed up. The last thing she needed for Bojanski and his question marks. She went out the door next to the senior commons and down the path to Sea Wing. Absolutely nothing had happened to her, but she felt so beat up on Evan's behalf. She couldn't imagine her parents ever being involved in anything like this, and supposed she should feel lucky, but felt like she was being punished because she couldn't talk to anyone else about it. She just had to suffer in silence like Evan. She was feeling terribly disloyal, too, because deep down, she thought what Dr. Whitaker had done, left his wife and 3 kids, was terrible. And she didn't understand how Mrs. Whitaker could have done what she did either. And how was she supposed to hide what she felt about the Whitakers now? She couldn't see them for a while. Oh, poor Evan. This was his parents. She found herself crossing the parking lot. Where was she going? She knew where. She was going home. She'd had enough. She'd tell her mother she had a study hall at the end or something. And what would she do on Monday about skipping English and economics? Well, she had until Monday to figure something out. Maybe she'd just say she felt sick and went home. There was a huge clap of thunder, and for the first time she noticed the dark clouds that had moved in overhead. The wind was picking up, too. It was going to pour, she realized. She already felt a few drops. What was she going to do about her books? She put them under her shirt, thinking what a lousy idea it was to have left school. She was going to get soaked. Her books were going to get ruined, and she would have to pay for them. This was going to be trouble. She heard honking. It was a navy blue Ford Fairlane station wagon, the one she thought not Fred had gone to McDonald's in yesterday. Yep, it was the same girl driving. She rolled down her window and called, "Come on, I'll give you a ride. It's gonna pour." Cynthia had no idea who she was, or the boy that was sitting in the front seat. She opened the back door and slid in. "Thank you so much." "Where do you live?" "Glen River." "That's up there, right? Just up the road?" "Yeah, it's on the right." "I'm Dee Dee," the girl said with a wave of her hand. "I'm a senior." "Cynthia. I'm a sophomore." The boy was evidently nobody. "I used to see you at the marina with Evan." "Evan who?" the boy in the front seat asked, sounding grumpy. "Whitaker. He lives in the old Baker house." "The guy with the blue Chris craft." "Yes," Cynthia said. "That's the kind of boat the Whitakers had." The boy turned around to look at her. "I think I've seen you water ski." "Poor you," Cynthia said. "I'm awful." "Yeah, you are," he agreed. "But the guy is really good." "Yes, he is." Hopefully that guy would never have another seizure, she thought. Hopefully he'd be able to water ski again. The sky suddenly flashed bright with lightning and rain came down in buckets. The wipers were working frantically, but it was like a flood. It was like they were going through a car wash. "I need to pull over," the girl said. "This is unbelievable." The water was pounding the roof. "Thank you so much for saving me from this," Cynthia called to the front seat, amazed at how much water was coming down. "I want a cigarette," Dee Dee said, "but I can't open the window." "Just wait," the guy said. "It'll ease up in a minute." "Forest Hills is getting rained out again, I guess," Cynthia said. After a moment, the girl, Dee Dee, turned around. "So how do you know Peter?" "Peter who?" Cynthia asked. She looked at the guy. "Do you know what Peter's last name is?" "Who?" "Peter. The quiet, the mopey guy. The little guy that always sits in the way back?" "Yeah. I didn't even know his name was Peter. He never says anything." They had to be talking about not Fred. Cynthia laughed. "Are you guys talking about the boy who looks like an angel because he has such a gorgeous face?" "That's the one," Dee Dee said. "All I know about him is his name's Peter. He got thrown out of Deerfield, and he gives me gas money." She laughed. "I don't have very strict requirements for membership." "I'll give you some money for gas," Cynthia offered. "Thanks. Another day, maybe. Took the car right after my mom filled it this morning." The guy looked at her. "Did she tell you you could take it?" "No, but she'll live." "You just took it?" he asked incredulously. "Oh, her friends will pick her up. They always do, and I'll bring it home soon. As long as somebody picks up my father, everything's okay." "If I did that, I'd be grounded for 5 years, the boy said. "But you don't even have a license," Dee Dee laughed. Cynthia liked her. Couldn't figure out where she was coming from, though. A senior? She must live somewhere in Sagamore if she saw her at the marina. She didn't know the name Dee Dee. The downpour continued. "So much for going to the beach," Dee Dee said. The windows were starting to fog up. "Don't use your hand," Dee Dee told the guy when he reached towards the windshield. "It leaves streaks. My father goes crazy." She turned. "Is there a beach tub back there we can use to wipe the windows?" Cynthia looked around. "I don't see one." Dee Dee sighed. "Mom must have emptied the car." "I have Kleenex you can use," Cynthia volunteered, looking in her purse. They had started making the coolest little packs of it last year, but it was expensive. Still, her mom got a package of them so they could carry a pack in their purse. Cynthia handed out some tissues, and they used them to wipe the windows. "It's letting up," the guy said. Was he Dee Dee's boyfriend? Cynthia didn't know what was going on. He was nice looking. He was tall, but old enough to be a senior. I guess we can get going, Dee Dee said, pushing in the lighter and flipping open a hard pack of Marlboros. She put one in her mouth, waited for the car lighter, and then lit up. Okay, Glen River, she said, opening the window a little and pulling out from the side of the road. She exhaled with the cigarette still in her mouth. Clearly an experienced smoker. There's no sketchbook back there, right? She asked Cynthia. She looked around again. None that I can see. It's just a pair of men's topsiders. My dad's. Okay, thanks. Cynthia directed her down Glen River. As they passed the Watsons' driveway, she wondered if Mr. Watson was home yet. When they neared her house, she saw a black Lincoln Continental parked in the driveway. The motor was running, and Cynthia bet there was air conditioning going on inside for somebody lucky. The Schuyler's had already put their air conditioners away for the winter because the electric bill got her father so upset. $34, he raged last month. This time last year it was $22. Somebody rich is visiting, I think, Dee Dee said. Yeah, I guess. Listen, Dee Dee, I can't thank you enough. I'll pay the favor back. Truly, I will. Thank you so much. Don't worry about it. I think you're probably a good kid. She laughed. Are you? Yeah, I am. Good. Then you're welcome to ride anytime. Great. Thanks. And it was great to meet you. Bye, she said to the guy. It was still raining, so Cynthia put her books under her shirt again before she got out of the car. She walked up to the Lincoln, and the window magically slid down, a short wave of coolness blowing over her. The driver was wearing a livery hat and everything. Hi, she said. Whose car? Mr. Maynard Watson. Oh, good. Mimi's dad. Thanks. Maybe she'd get her John Lennon album. She hurried around to the back of the house and went up the terrace steps. She opened the kitchen door. Hi, I'm home, she called, bringing her books out from under her shirt. She put them down on the counter as Ashette went skidding by on her route. What on earth are you doing home this early? Her mother whispered as she came in. I got out early because I had a study hall, and this girl, Dee Dee, gave me a ride home because it was raining. Well, just stay in here a minute, will you? Or go upstairs, or go outside. It's raining, Mom. Okay, stay here or go upstairs. Mr. Watson and Mimi are having a difficult conversation in the living room right now. About what? Mr. Watson's decided to take Mimi with him to live in Manhattan. Manhattan? Why? Her mother sighed, looking sad. The Watsons are separating and most likely getting divorced. Oh. But that's not a really big surprise, is it? Her mother's brow was furrowed. I suppose not. Does Mimi want to go to New York? She doesn't have much of a choice, I'm afraid. Why? Is her mother moving? She shook her head. No. She ballooned her cheeks with air and let it out slowly. Well, there's no way around it. You have to know, sweetie, so I might as well just tell you now. Tell me what? Mr. Gagliardi's moving in with Mrs. Watson. Jeez Louise. What a town. Are the Schuylers the only couple that's what they appear to be? Well, that's a question. Are they what they appear to be? Who knows in this crazy town? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you had an interesting trip I certainly did today, and I needed to get out of my own head, and this story certainly is taking me somewhere, but it is fun, isn't it? I'm loving it. That's all I can tell you. I saw my veterinarian this week, and she was saying she didn't understand what podcasts were, and I laughed. Her daughters listen to them, day and night, but she didn't really understand where they were or how you got them. So I was trying to explain to her. Anybody who is a boomer probably needs a little help. To start with, the class of 74, if anybody asks you, it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, it's on YouTube, and then Podbean, which is our distributor. And they're great, by the way. Anybody who wants to do a podcast, they really help you and sort everything out for you. And then there's Castbox, Boomplay, FM Radio, Listen Notes, and Podchaser. The class of 74 is on all kinds of podcasts. And since you're listening to this one, I ask you, give a friend of yours some help in learning how to play a podcast, okay? And that would be great, because we would love to have them join us. I want to thank you once again for joining me, and I want you to have a fabulous week, everybody. And I'll see you here Friday. And please, please, please remember, we don't drink and drive anymore. Ever. Be well, everybody. See you next week.